Hey guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley and I am back for an all new video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, you know I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats in music of this week. So of course you know you gotta stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's get into this week's beats. So y'all know my first beat of the week. I'm gonna have to talk about the 2019 Billboard Music Awards, the BBMAs. Now I'm gonna let y'all know I actually didn't watch the Billboard Music Awards live when it actually happened. I was in the gym when the show started, and then when I came home from the gym, I wanted to watch my television show, so I sat here and I watched Empire. Yes, I'm one of the last people on earth still watching Empire, and I was watching Star, so I actually didn't watch the show live. But you know, with the world that we live in, you got social media, so you can just kind of see what was the talk about the show. And then obviously I just went and looked at whatever clips that I needed to look at on my own time. And of course I have some opinions about what happened at this year's award show. So I'm gonna just give y'all a real quick recap of the things that I want to talk about. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Mariah Carey being honored with the Icon Award, which I knew was happening before the show. I mean, because they announced those type of things. But yeah, she received the Icon Award. And before I even get into like her performance and all that other stuff, a lot of people were kind of like wondering as to why Mariah. I remember reporting about it and a lot of people were kind of like, why? And I know Mariah isn't exactly the performer that she used to be, or you know, the performer we known her to be, you know, growing up and stuff like that. But you can't cancel out Mariah for all that she's done in the past. You know, she's, like I said, not the same Mariah, we all know that. But I mean, you gotta give respect when it's due. So I definitely feel like Mariah Carey was deserving of the Icon Award. You know, she's broken so many records. She's been on Billboard and 18 number ones or something like that. So she was definitely deserving of the Icon Award for sure. Now her actual performance, she did perform like a melody of some of her hits. You know, she has so many hits. So she performed a few of those. Her performance actually wasn't as long as I expected it to be. But I mean, it was a decent performance. I know she's on tour, or she was recently on tour, one of those things. So she's still currently on stage as of now. But she started off a little to be honest. One thing I can say is that we definitely know that Mariah Carey was singing live for sure during her performance after she accepted her Icon Award. The vocals, not that I'm a singer anymore, I don't sing. so I really try not to be judgmental, especially when it comes to singers, because it's not an easy, you know, thing. But it just started off a little bit pretty much Mariah's performance, but gradually it started, you know, getting better, and the vocals started, you know, picking up. And I think the highlight is that she actually did hit that little high note or whatever. So the fact that we knew that she was singing live because we can hear it, but the fact that, you know, she, you know, started to gradually get better as the song started to progress and stuff like that, and she did hit that high note. And you know, the camera kept on going in the audience, so we were able to see her twins Moroccan and Monroe just pretty much, you know, cheering her on, and you know, just looking up at their mom and stuff like that. So I mean, it was cool. It was definitely cool, but I definitely feel like Mariah, without a doubt, was deserving of getting the Icon Award this year, without a doubt. I would never question her greatness. I would never question the contributions that she's done to music, and neither should y'all. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves if y'all ever question why Mariah Carey deserved the Icon Award at this year's Billboard Music Awards. But other than that, we're going to move on to the next performance, and I want to talk about Miss Ciara. So you know that she has her new album, Beauty Marks, coming out soon. So she performed her latest single, Thinking About You, and I just remember watching Ciara's performance and thinking, oh, Ciara, instead of being, you know, Ciara Princess, you know, Wilson, because, you know, her and Russell Wilson, they married or whatever, I feel like her name should be Ciara Princess Jackson, because I just kept on thinking, like, she would fit in perfectly with the Jackson family. First and foremost, Ciara, she does, like, have, like, a very high-pitched singing voice, without a doubt. So, you know, just her tone within that song alone definitely kind of gives me Jackson vibes anyway. But on top of that, just the whole just the way her performance was set up, without a doubt, we already know Ciara could dance her ass off, like no question about it. But also she had like this whole the striped pantsuit thing, and automatically I just kind of got Janet Jackson vibes. And you know, she's always been vocal about how inspired she's been by Janet. So I'm not surprised if Janet was definitely the inspiration behind the look and feel for her performance. But you know, what's that song, that Janet Jackson song, I Get So Lonely? And she, you know, had at the time she had the red hair with the hat and, you know, the suits. So that's exactly why I was like, oh, she should definitely be called Ciara Princess Jackson, because not only the sound, but also the look and just the way that her performance was, you know, shaping out to be. But we always know Ciara to put on a performance. Like I said, not only does she sing, but she is a hell of a dancer. So any Ciara performance is always going to be entertaining. So her performance was definitely good in my opinion. But other than that, we're going to talk about Miss Taylor Swift. So this is one of the moments on social media that I was talking about, where I was kind of like, I didn't watch the show, but I kind of felt like, you know, I kind of knew what was going on. But, you know, prior to doing this video, of course, I had to watch it for myself and I had to see what the hype was about and stuff like that. So my first thoughts is a lot of people was kind of like, oh, Taylor Swift, she played her stuff thinking she was going to bring Beachella to the BBMAs. And I was like, y'all, Taylor Swift, she ain't that stupid. She not dumb enough to bite off of Beyonce. Like, no, she really isn't. But then I watched the actual performance for myself, and I will say the very beginning of her performance with the white band and stuff like that, she did try to, she kind of gave me a little bit like she was trying to do a little Beachella vibes with the band, and then just the way she kind of walked onto the stage and stuff, and I was like, okay, Taylor, okay, maybe you should have tried this sometime next year whenever you have a show, to where, you know, it's not so close to when Beyonce just released, you know, her documentary on Netflix and stuff like that. So I was like, she tried it for, you know, maybe, you know, 1 or 2 minutes of her performance and stuff like that. But then you know, the band wasn't the only aspect of her performance. She had the dancers come out, and they were in these colorful suits, and, you know, they had umbrellas and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool how, like, the dancers were hanging from the ceiling from the umbrellas. But personally, the single wasn't my cup of, you know, orange juice. Not, you know, preferably what I like. I thought the song sounded a little bit cheesy, but that's just, you know, just me. You know, maybe you guys liked it. You can comment below. Let me know if you like Taylor Swift's new song, which was actually called You or Me or something like that. What's the name of the record? I wrote it down. Me. That's the name of the record. So yeah, y'all can let me know if you was feeling it. I personally wasn't feeling it. With the bright colors and stuff, I kind of thought about, you know, the Cat in the Hat, you know, just, I don't know why. But, yeah, that's what I thought about Taylor Swift's performance. But other than that, another memorable moment I have to talk about is Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham. He is now the most awarded artist that has, like, he has, like, the most BBMAs. He now has a total of 27 Billboard Music Awards. He had a pretty huge night. He was winning, you know, awards left and right and stuff like that. And rightfully so, because, you know, Drake, he's just bomb as hell. He always has a hit on his hands. His albums always do well. His tours always do well. Music videos is always lit. Gets love and support from everyone, and he, you know, he does that in return. So I mean, it's not shocking. So shout out to Drake for all of his wins. But definitely, if you checked out the 2019 Billboard Music Awards, the BBMAs, and you know you liked the show, you didn't like the show, you know, let me know. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts about the show. But other than that, we're going to move on to my second beat of this week, and I have to talk about Joyner Lucas. Now, Joyner Lucas, he dropped a very much powerful and very much needed music video this week. This week, he released his new music video, Devil's Work, and at first I was just kind of like seeing it and stuff like that, and I was just kind of putting it in the back of my mind, you know, okay, this is hot right now, you know, a lot of people are talking about it, you know, even Rihanna shared it. I'm gonna watch it. So I watched it probably 2 days after the fact that it came out, but I'm glad I did watch it, because he definitely spit a whole bunch of facts in a matter of, I wrote down 4 minutes and 35 seconds. A whole bunch of facts in a minute of 435 seconds. So pretty much the topic, or the message, I should say, behind this record and this music video is, he was, you know, we always say we don't want to question God, but he just wanted to know pretty much like, why are all the good people dying and the bad people still here? So, you know, he was like, why did you take Tupac? Can you give him back and take Suge Knight? Stuff like that. And, there's a whole bunch of artists he mentioned. He, mentioned obviously Nipsey Hussle is like the most recent pass. And it's kind of like, so why did you take Nipsey and not take Eric Holder? He was like, take Eric Holder, which is the guy who's accused of killing Nipsey, and give us back Eric Wright, who is, Eazy-E. He asked about, why did you take Aaliyah away from us? Why did you take Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin? Why did you take Biggie, Big Pun? Like, it's just like a lot. And you just kind of feel it. Like, even if it wasn't a famous person, we all kind of have, like our own personal losses in our own personal lives that we kind of just, you don't want to question God, like I said, but you just kind of wish, like, why aren't they here? Like, why aren't they, just living life? A lot of lives were definitely cut short, without a doubt. So I definitely feel like the message behind, this record in this music video is definitely something that almost everybody, if not everybody, can relate to for sure. But if you checked out Joyner Lucas's new music video, Devil's Work, definitely comment below and let me know your thoughts about that for sure. I really want to know what you guys thought about that, because that's definitely a powerful piece, without a doubt. But other than that, we're going to move on to my third beat of this week, and we got to talk about this debate going on. So recently, Justin Bieber, he made a post to his Instagram account where he pretty much, was just saying that Chris Brown is a combination of Michael Jackson and Tupac Shakur. Some people agreed with it. Some people didn't agree with it. I, on the other hand, absolutely agree with Justin Bieber. I definitely feel like that Chris Brown is a combination of Michael Jackson and Tupac. First and foremost, y'all know I started this year. My hashtag and the movement that I'm sticking with this entire year is Respect Chris Breezy 2019. We are still doing Respect Chris Breezy 2019, so please put some respect on his name. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel like Chris Brown is definitely a combination of Michael Jackson and Tupac. Now, he's not saying, he is them, but, definitely everyone knows that Chris Brown's biggest inspiration is Michael Jackson. Everyone knows that. Now, I remember when Michael passed back in 2009, and that's when the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna situation kind of happened, at the Grammys that year. So Chris Brown, he was laying low. So when Michael passed and, they did this whole tribute to, Michael Jackson at the BET Awards that year, Chris Brown wasn't there. Mind you, Chris Brown was laying low. Year after that, if I'm not mistaken, 2010 BET Awards. Remember when Chris Brown did that tribute to Michael Jackson and he cried his eyes out on stage when he performed Men in the Mirror? Not only did he cry because Michael Jackson was his, biggest inspiration, and he was, still, saddened by his, shocking passing, but also he related, to the words of that song. So it's kind of like, when you have a strong feeling and you have a strong connection with a type of artist and stuff like that, you're definitely going to embody characteristics of that. So we know Chris Brown could sing. We know Chris Brown could dance his ass off. Chris Brown, he's an amazing artist. Like I said, he's a young living legend. Actually, while I'm recording this, today is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, but today is also Chris Brown's 30th birthday, which is hard to believe because I remember when Chris Brown was 16 and he just dropped his first album and now he's 30. But regardless of the fact, that's, happy birthday, Chris Brown, Chris Breezy. But yeah, definitely he embodies everything that Michael Jackson was as an artist, whether it was songwriting skills, whether it was vocal ability, whether it was dancing, like, without a doubt. And then on the Tupac side of things, it depends on what part of Tupac you want to focus on. Now, me, I like to focus on the very artistic side that a lot of people tend to look over when it comes to Tupac. A lot of people like to focus on the thug life. A lot of people don't like to focus on the simple fact that, Tupac used his platform to speak about, so many, issues and how he can, try to help to, dissolve those issues and stuff like that. And then also the simple fact that, he was definitely a visionary and stuff. And I kind of feel like, Chris Brown, he be having his moments and stuff like that, but he uses his platform for good as well. You know, he speaks and, you know, talks about the different issues that we need to focus on within this world. So I just kind of feel like Chris Brown, for sure, is a good combination of what Michael Jackson and Tupac stood for. And then we have this young living legend who just happened to just turn 30 while I'm recording this right now. So I agree with the statement. Some people don't. I'm one of the people that actually do. So first of all, shout out to Justin Bieber for actually, you know, bigging up Chris Brown. You know, a lot of people don't like to speak good about other artists until, you know, something bad happens to them or they're no longer here. But I agree with his statement. 150% sure. I'm here. JB, I'm here. And speaking of Chris Brown, his new album Indigo is coming soon. He hasn't released a date as of yet, but with him turning 30 today, he did say that he was going to have 30 records on that album. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it's going to take me a minute to get through the album. It took me a minute to get through the last album, so it's damn sure going to take me a long time to get through this new album. But he also did mention that there are some features to look forward to. So he said that Drake, Nicki Minaj, her, Justin Bieber, Tank, Tyga, Tory Lanez, Sage the Gemini, Juicy J, Juvenile, G-Eazy, Lil Wayne, Lil Jon, Gunna, and Joyner Lucas are going to be an album. So with all of those features, I mean, I can kind of see why there's going to be 30 records without a doubt. But comment below and let me know, are you looking forward to this new Chris Brown album? You know, he came out the gate with these two records that he has out now, which is Undecided, and then he also has Ready to Love. So I'm always here for new Chris Brown music, so I just cannot wait. So yeah, other than that, we're gonna move on to my fourth beat of this week, and we got to talk about this. It's not throwback news, but it has to do with our hip hop legends and stuff like that. So earlier this week, DJ Spinderella from N Pepa, she pretty much let her followers on social media know that she had a termination email sent to her back in January. And she's not going to be performing with N Pepa. N Pepa, they are going on tour. I don't know what the tour is. You know, they do a lot of these like old school tours with like old school artists, you know, touring stuff or whatever. That's what they mainly do. And I guess the tour is coming up, and you know, they let her know that she won't be performing with them. And they have, I guess, failed to, you know, let the public know that, hey, you know, Spinderella not going to be with us. So because they didn't say anything, Spinderella took it into her own hands and let the fans know. So she said, I'm deeply saddened to share with all of the N Pepa and Spinderella fans that I will not be performing on the NK, whatever, the name of the tour. Despite my participation in promoting the tour and being highly publicized as one of the acts, in January 2019, I received a termination email from N Pepa excluding me from performances with the group. It was my expectation after making that decision that they would take responsibility for sharing the news with the public and other affected parties. It has been months now with no mention. Out of love for my fans and my commitment to upholding a standard of professionalism, I've decided to take it upon myself to let everyone know. I refuse to participate in misleading fans, sticker holders, and others who based on all the advertising were anticipating seeing the iconic N Pepa and Spinderella trio. So I'm making it clear now. Please know you will have the opportunity to see me this summer in many other projects and activities I'll be participating in, and I look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you, Spinderella. Now, I don't know if you guys remember. You probably don't, because you know, reality TV wasn't that popular back then, but a few years ago, N Pepa, they actually had a show on VH1. I think it was like the N Pepa show, something like that. And pretty much the show kind of focused on N Pepa, pretty much, I guess, you kind of like getting back together, pretty much getting back out there. You know, Peppa was all for, you know, let's get together, let's do these performances, let's get back out there. You know, you know, she was kind of like, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm married, family life, I don't know if I want to go back to that. And then, you know, Spinderella, she was down with it as well. But one of the issues that they did focus on the show was how Spinderella kind of let them know that she just kind of felt left out. She kind of felt like, you know, the third wheel or the stepchild or whatever. I don't remember the exact terminology she used because the show was definitely more than 10 years old. But you know, and you know, obviously N Pepa they're before my time, but I mean, if you watch documentaries and, like I said, television shows and stuff like that, it's always kind of been this, you know, it felt like they, you know, just excluded her a lot and stuff. So for it to be 2019 and for it to kind of still seem that way, and which is weird because I know Salt and Peppa they have a new show on BET with SWV called Ladies Night. So I'm more than sure that whatever the situation is with Spinderella being terminated from performing with them, it will definitely be covered on this show. Have I seen the show? No. Will I watch the show? I'm not sure. But whatever happens, including this situation, I'm sure that clip from the show will definitely go viral without a doubt. But I did see like Spinderella's comments and stuff like that, and she was getting a lot of love and support from her peers within the industry, other fellow DJs and stuff. So I mean, she's Spinderella, so she's gonna be good. It's just sad to see after all of these years, it's still kind of like the same thing, but I'm sure we'll get more details about that. But other than that, we're going to move on to my last beat of this week. And I have to talk about the 50th anniversary of Woodstock being canceled. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know about Woodstock. And I actually wanted to report on there actually being a 50th anniversary concert for Woodstock. Now, I personally first learned about Woodstock in my music classes. Y'all know music education, singing, I don't do none of that no more. But I did have a songwriting class back in college. And that's where I first learned about Woodstock. And I learned about how big Woodstock used to be years and years ago. I mean, 50 years ago, obviously. But years ago, and how it brought together, different backgrounds, different races and stuff like that, because a whole bunch of these artists, used to just, come and perform. It was kind of like during the hippie era and stuff. So Woodstock was, pretty a big deal back in the day. And I just thought it was pretty dope that, they were, thinking to bring this thing back, 50 years later, celebrate 50 years of Woodstock. And obviously they modernized it with artists from today. So, artists that would be appealing, to, I guess, us or this audience and stuff like that. They had Jay-Z, they had Chance the Rapper, Janelle Monáe, Common, I saw Vince Staples, and so I thought it was a pretty dope thing. But then the news this week broke that Woodstock will actually be canceled. The 50th anniversary will be canceled. So they did a lot to put Woodstock together for the 50th anniversary, and it's just canceled just like that. I don't even think I snapped, but it's canceled just like that. And the reason for it being canceled is because of production concerns over the capacity of the festival, including site readiness and permitting issues. So you would have thought that they would have had that all together before they even announced that there was going to be a whole situation. But they didn't. So if there was anybody that was looking forward to Woodstock, 50th anniversary, it ain't happening. And that's just that. But other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay, guys, so I want to thank you for tuning in to this week's video. And of course, I have to end every single video by reminding you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and share. It would greatly be appreciated. Now, y'all know I cannot end this video without giving y'all my song of the week. And my song of the week is going to have to go to Fantasia. She is back with new music. She just released her new record, Enough. And y'all know when it comes to Fantasia, you get real R&B without a doubt. So, song of the week, Fantasia, Enough. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will check y'all next time. So, bye.